Everyone, come here, gather around, and let me tell you a story of how a legend was born. Back in 2014, Pachirisu won the Pokémon World Championships, despite having virtually no usage prior to the tournament. In a format with powerful Pokémon like Garchomp and Tyranitar running around, it's easy to see why many top players overlook this electric Ronin, as it only has a base stat total of 405. But Sajin Park believed that Pachirisu could be the perfect meta call, as it has decent special bulk and the ability Volt Absorb, meaning it could use Follow Me to protect its ally Mega Gyarados from the formats of many strong electric types. And his decision paid off, as he and Pachirisu claimed the World Champion title and became VGC legends. That story got me thinking, which Pokemon could be the next Pachirisu? I'm looking for a Pokemon that has never seen any major tournament success, but has the potential to win it big. So, I went dumpster diving through the list of forgotten Pokemon, and found 7 potential contenders for the next Pachirisu. Now, I don't think that these Pokemon are necessarily good in the current VGC format, just that they could have some potential in the future if the conditions are right, whether that be in the next year, or within the next decade. First on our list is the fan-favorite Pokemon Clodsire. While Clodsire has seen some success in singles formats, it hasn't seen that same success in VGC. And a large part of that is due to its underwhelming stats. But that is Clodsire's hidden weapon. As with its base 20 speed, it is the slowest fully evolved Pokemon that gets access to the move After You. Now, normally, this would seem unintuitive to have After You on a slow Pokemon, but that can be one of the best answers to Trick Room teams. But that's not the only cool tool this funky guy has. It has the great ability Water Absorb, which turns its water type weakness into an immunity that also heals it. Thanks to this, Clodsire could pair really well with a strong Surf Spammer that would otherwise struggle with Trick Room teams. And when outside of Trick Room, Clodsire can use Helping Hand to contribute despite its low speed stat. It rounds out its move pool with moves like Acid Spray, Toxic, Yawn, and Haze. And with Gunk Shot, it can deal with the grass types that a strong Surf Spammer would otherwise struggle with. Out of all the Pokemon in today's list, I think Clodsire has the least likely chance to succeed, but its unique toolkit still gives it a pretty cool niche. Pachirisu is well known for being a cute Pokemon that surprised everyone by being good competitively. But what about the opposite? An ugly Pokemon? An abomination even? I'm gonna say a sentence that no one has ever said before, but it's time to talk about Crabominable. You know, looking at him again, it's kinda cute. Kinda. Crabominable is pretty bad, being held back by its mediocre defense stats and bad defensive typing, but it has a respectable attack stat and moves that can hit stupidly hard, so it does have something going for it. And this power can be protected thanks to its ability Hypercover, which means its attack can't be lowered by something like Intimidating. I could see a format that lacks other strong Trick Room users that is weak to the combo of Ice and Fighting, as it is a good offensive typing. But that's not the only reason why it's on the list. It also gets access to the move Wyrdeer, which protects the Crab and its allies from strong spread attacks. And if you've seen my Bastiodon video, you know that a Pokemon with Wide Guard is a Pokemon with potential. This combo of powerful Trick Room offense and good utility means we may one day see ourselves raving for the Crab. Let's take things all the way back to Gen 1 with this next Pokemon on our list, Dewgong. If you played during early Reg G, you might remember this thing terrorizing the Showdown ladder, but that didn't translate to any success in major tournaments. Dewgong has a very apparent niche, being one of only 2 Pokemon to get access to the combo of Fake Out and Perish Song. The only other option is Jinx, and Dewgong is the better option of those 2, especially thanks to its ability Thick Fat, which reduces the damage of fire and ice attacks, making Dewgong difficult to remove, and Perish Trap teams thrive on bulk. It also has a plethora of support moves such as Encore, Disable, Haze, Helping Hand, Chilling Water, Rain Dance, and Icy Wind. So you can tailor Dewgong to fit your team's needs. And if you want to be a little goofy, a little silly even, Dewgong gets access to 2 Oko moves for the gamblers out there. Perish Song's already a move with limited distribution, so it's easy to see a future in which Dewgong is the best option out there. Strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon. That is only the selfish perception of people. Truly skilled trainers should try to win with the Pokemon they love best.
No. Wait.
Intimidate is easily one of the best abilities in the game, allowing for tons of support with little effort. Likewise, Trick Room is one of the best moves in the game, as it enables so many different strategies that would otherwise be impossible. So a Pokemon with both should be pretty powerful, right? Well, there's only one Pokemon with this combo, Wyrdeer. So why does nobody hear of the deer? Didn't you hear? It's had a pretty rough career. It's only been legal in formats where powerful legendary Pokemon were also here. And in the only format where legendaries were banned, another great intimidator was near, Incineroar. Believe me, competing with Incineroar brings the deer to tears. But if it were ever legal in a format where all these problems were to disappear, it would have a pretty great year. It also gets a few more support options, like both screens to help protect its peers, skill swaps so your opponent's abilities you can commandeer, or you can even give Intimidate to an ally for more damage reduction. And the advantages of that are pretty clear. It even gets imprisoned. So if your opponents want to click Trick Room, you can easily interfere. Given proper circumstances, people in the VGC sphere will learn to fear the deer. Now go ahead and cheer for this queer. Oh my gosh, running all that was so hard. Now on to the first of our top three. Swoobat. Why is it here? The answer is simple. Simple. The ability, simple. An ability that doubles all of your stat changes. Only a few evolution lines get access to this powerful ability. And out of those, Swoobat is simply the best suited to use it. This is because it's super fast and gets access to the move's stored power, which starts out as a weak 20 base power move, but gains 20 more base power for each stat boost you receive. So for each combine Swoobat sets up, it gets a +2 special attack, +2 special defense, and +80 base power to its main attack. Swoobat hasn't seen success before because its stats aren't that great, and Psychic Flying isn't the best type, but even resisted hits will be melted by stored power after a shockingly little setup. With a combo this powerful, it will surely find some success in the future when the conditions are just right for it. Say, if they ever have a special attack conversion of the move Coaching, Swoobat would be able to make great use of that. It would be able to just absolutely murder someone, and that person would probably be me. And another cool thing about Swoobat is you don't have to put all your eggs in one basket, as it gets to move Baton Pass, so it can give its insane stat boosts to a partner Pokemon, which can deal with things that Swoobat struggles with. All these tools help contribute to Swoobat's spot in our top 3. For our second to last Mon, I'm bringing in a very special guest. Please give a warm welcome to Abby Trio! Thank you very much, Abigail. I'm honored to be here. I'm hungry. Shut up. Would you believe it or not, the number 2 slot actually goes to my cousin, Dugtrio. Hate that guy. You two need to behave. The trio of dudes has one of the best abilities in the game, Arena Trap, which traps all non-flying, non-ghost types on the field, preventing them from being able to escape. This can be paired with a Perish Song Pokemon to make the deadly Perish Trap combo. But Dugtrio has a few things that sets it apart from other trappers like Gothitelle. For starters, it has a really good speed stat of 120, meaning Dugtrio can usually get 1 or 2 moves off before dying, especially when it's holding the Focus Sash item to make up for its low bulk. I always carry a Focus Sash with me, but Perish Trap isn't Dugtrio's only role. Its ground typing is really useful, as it's able to hit electric and steel types other Pokemon have trouble hitting. Dugtrio could be especially powerful when paired with a strong electric attacker with the move Discharge, as ground's electric immunity protects Dugtrio from its allies' attack. Dugtrio can even contribute to this damage with the move Helping Hand. Both of these types struggle against grass types, but in a metagame where there's less grass types, or if Dugtrio can ever find a strong discharge spammer that beats grass types as well, this could be a really powerful combo, especially in a metagame with slower Pokemon. Wow, you actually said something helpful for once. Back to you, Abigail. Why did I even bother inviting them? Time for our final Pokemon. But first, a word from our sponsor. Tired of your charging moves taking 2 turns to activate? Me too! That's why I use to sponsor today's video, the Power. Now all your charging moves will work in 1 turn. How wonderful! And if you use code SCHRUDEL50, you can get 50% off of your first order. Wow, that was actually a very convenient sponsor, as it relates to our final Pokemon, Omastar, because Omastar gets access to the powerful 2-turn move, Meteor Beam. On the first turn, it gives you a +1 special attack boost, and on the second, it launches off a powerful rock-type attack. But many other Pokemon get access to the move Meteor Beam, so what sets Omastar apart? That would be its ability Swift Swim. Thanks to its 150 base special attack, it is the best Pokemon to make use of the combo of Swift Swim and Meteor Beam. And while 55 base speed may seem slow, with the Swift Swim boost and proper investment, it can get to above 200 speed. and after shooting off a meteor beam, it can use the +1 special attack boost to hit with powerful water type attacks like Hydro Pump and Muddy Water that get another boost thanks to the ring. Omastar only got access to Meteor Beam in the Generation 8 DLC, and it wasn't present in Scarlet and Violet, so it just hasn't had the time yet to shine. But given enough time, I guarantee you'll find some success at some point. And that concludes our list of candidates for the next Pachirisu. I hope you enjoyed this video. I love trying to find niches for overlooked Pokemon, and I actually brought an overlooked Pokemon to a major tournament once, Bastiodon. If you want to see how that went, check out the video I made on how that tournament went. Thank you very much for watching, make sure to like and subscribe, and have a good day. Trans rights!